thing on? Check.
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free, vegan eats, Stumptastic treats.
Hello, and welcome to Stump Kitchen's second Ask Me Anything episode. I'm going to answer your questions here, and if you have more questions, you can send them to me in any way that you want to, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. I'll answer them all as honestly as I can. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Bye. Do you cut your nail on your stump? Where do you get your sweet knives? This is where I get my knives! Knifeware! So this is Chris. So Knifeware is one of my favorite shops in the world. I say, like on my show, that it's so great to have a sharp knife. Why is it important to have a knife, like a really sharp knife?
A sharp knife is safer. A sharp knife goes where you tell it to go.
What?
You don't have to force it through anything. Less than comfortable. Exactly. Exactly.
Tell me about your knives.
Nice. Basically, I've laid out 4 different kinds of knives. Petty, which is really bad French for petite. It's perfect for kind of those small jobs. If you're just cutting up a single piece of fruit or if you need to peel something. The gyuto, which translated from Japanese means cow sword. Basically a meat-focused knife, but it's your general kind of chef's knife shape. The nikiri, it's made specifically for slicing vegetables. And then the big guy is called the sujihiki.
Oh my!
And so that's for carving things.
Like what? Like a bear?
A giant, yeah, a bear, definitely.
What would you carve with this knife if you were, say, a vegan chef?
Watermelon.
Holy crap!
This is what a sharp knife should do. There should be absolutely no effort involved in slicing through. When you sharpen it, it just should slide right through.
Look at how beautiful. A lot of your knives, you know, they range in price. Now, for someone who's like, maybe doesn't have a lot of cash, like, where would you recommend they start with a
You can get into a great Japanese knife for around $150. But there's price points for everybody. I tell everybody you're buying a knife that's going to last you forever.
Hashtag worth it.
There's nothing wrong with buying a knife because it's pretty.
Oh yeah, nothing
because
wrong.
all of them are going to work fantastic.
I just love coming here. You gotta check out Knifeware if you have a chance. It's on White Ave.
We have shops in Ottawa, Vancouver, and Calgary as well.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for your time. This
No
was
problem.
fantastic.
Thank you, Alexis.
Fun high five. Boom.
Oh my god, I still have like sleep in my eyes. Oh. So the next question is, if my hand says that my stump is telling a lie, and my stump says that it's my hand telling a lie, then who do you trust? I don't know, I think it's time to bring in the feet.
What dat stump do?
Let's just check the angle here. We're just gonna check the angle. You ready? You ready, Lisa?
I am ready.
Just a little. Hey. Check out that sausage.
Oh no!
That's what that stump do.
Next question is, do you know how to grow vegetables out of veggie scraps? Heck no, I've never done that. I don't know how to do that. However, sometimes when I leave my garlic a little too long in the bowl, it'll grow a green thing out the middle of it, so that's something. When I leave my potatoes a little bit too long, they start growing stuff out of them, like little arms and legs. And when I leave my fruit a little bit too long, either like in the fridge or on the counter, especially the oranges and the lemons, they'll start to grow a green coat. So maybe I do know how to grow things out of my veggies.
Any tips on finding cheap vegetables?
So I'm at my favorite grocery store. It's called Earth General Store. I love it so much. And a really great way to save on groceries in your town is to find like a produce market that sells just fruits and veggies. They're often way cheaper. Or come to a place like Earth General Store where they often have like half off veggies if they're a little bit bruised, but they're still good. So you can get like amazing organic products for like a fraction of the price. So it's pretty darn awesome.
Non-vegan ingredients to watch out for?
Things are labeled pretty well, so if you're looking at the back of something and you want to know if it's vegan or not, usually it'll say something like contains milk ingredients, and then you know it's not vegan. Then you have something like this this is pasta. It's made with wheat, so I can't have it, but it says may contain a trace of egg. That just means that it was made in a facility that also makes things with eggs in them, but there's no eggs in this actual product. So if you have a really intense allergy, then don't go for this. But if you are vegan and don't have an allergy, then this is fine for you. Here's another example of something that can sneak into ingredients that you think might be vegan, but they're not. When you have something called whey protein isolate, that is a milk thing.
Okay, you two awesome humans. One of the questions that we have for the Ask Me Anything episode is, why is it important to have kids on Stump Kitchen?
Well,
Ethan.
so you get to know them.
Yeah! Callie.
Because then it's not like there's only one person that you know that only has one hand or something.
Oh my god. What's your favorite thing about the show?
Cooking. Dropping things. Making a mess. Yeah. Let's make a mess.
Okay, so the next question is, it's about learning new techniques or like learning to do stuff with my body. When I learned how to tie my shoes when I was younger, for example, I did it in a bit of a different way than someone would do with two hands. Like I used my mouth for a while, and then eventually I found a way to do it using my stump and my hand. But a lot of the stuff that I've learned to do has just come super naturally because it's just the way that I do it. And so the question is like, do I have to think consciously about doing new techniques? The answer is definitely yes and no. It's all of the things. One example is I didn't know how to do my hair in a ponytail, but then when I was 20, I was like, I'm gonna try this. And so I would kind of like hang my head over and hold my hair with my stump and grab my elastic. It took some trial and error, but then eventually I got really good at it. Other stuff that I have to think about sometimes, maybe a bit more than other people might think about, is like when I'm holding a lot of stuff and balancing a lot of things and doing something else. Like if I'm carrying grocery bags into the house from the car and I have to open the door and I'm carrying like a coffee or something, I have to be very conscious about where I put my weight and where I put my bags, especially if I'm holding my coffee close to my body with my stump, because often I forget that I'm holding things and I like spill everywhere. It's great. Other things come super naturally, like if I'm mixing a bowl of, say, cookie dough or ice cream or something, I will just like automatically hold it with my stump arm against my body and just mix it with my right hand. But then other things I gotta practice too, like, you know, can openers. That was kind of can openers are built for people with two hands, for sure. And so it took a bit more conscious effort to like figure out how I was gonna use these weird tools. But then so much more just comes so naturally because I was born this way and I've always had a stump. I'm like, yeah, of course I can dig into that glass and like wash the bottom of it with my arm where like a hand wouldn't be able to fit in there. For me, it just comes like second nature just to get in there and clean it out. So sometimes it takes some thought, sometimes it doesn't at all. And I think the ways that we all move in the world are super unique and super beautiful. And I think it's really cool that we get to create space for all of these different ways to exist together.
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free vegan eats, Stumptastic treats.
I love Stump Kitchen. I love Stump. I love Stump Kitchen.
I love Stump Kitchen.
I love Stump Kitchen. I love Stump Kitchen.